Welcome to this week's episode of Does That Make Sense? Antoinette, do you remember that movie, Eat, Pray, Love? It had Julia Roberts in it.
I think I've seen it 1,001 times and it's one of my all-time favourite movies.
I think it's actually been really trending on Netflix during COVID, actually, because it's such a great story. Well, guess what? Our next guest, she's almost like the living embodiment of the character from Eat, Pray, Love. But I think we like to call her Eat, Pray, Yoga. So welcome to the show, Shavita Kotak. Yoga instructor, yogi, health coach. Now, Shavita, Antoinette and I were discussing, and we feel like your story is very much like the book Eat, Pray, Love, but we've decided to call you Eat, Pray, Yoga. So we wanted to take listeners through your whole journey of how you left the corporate world and this sort of executive high-flying, in finance, and you decided at the peak of this to give it all away and sort of go into a more spiritual path. So walk us through what happened, because we know a little bit about your background, but viewers or listeners, I should say, don't, that you actually caught a one-way ticket to India. So tell us the whole story of how that transition happened.
Well, I was on this treadmill of life like most of us are. I was unawake on this treadmill of life, making money, trying to achieve lots of things, training, doing what society told me to do, earn lots of money, buy a house, and work really, really hard. And then when I was financial planning, I saw so many people in their 50s still doing this, waiting to retire. And I thought, I don't want to wait to live my life until I retire. I want to do it now. And there must be a way of balancing your life where you have to live in this world. You need money, of course, but there must be something else on how to get a balance with all that. So that's why I decided to leave my job in finance and get myself a one-way ticket to India and go to the ashram.
So what was it like when you got to the ashram? Tell us exactly what that was like when you arrived.
An ashram is a place where you retreat. You can go and go deeper into yourself. So you remove yourself from materialistic chores and objects, and basically you go into yourself. So this ashram was a yoga teacher training ashram. So I arrived there and I had no idea what to expect. I had no preconceived ideas at all because I've never done yoga before. I just jumped in straight head first. There was 200 people. It was in the middle of the jungle, and they said to me, right, we've got your space booked and you're going to be sharing a room with 36 other ladies in a dormitory. And I paused for a second thinking, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting a dormitory. I was expecting my own personal room, and it's going to be a bit lardy, like a bit of a retreat. I had no idea. A resort, yes. And then here I am with 200 other people sharing a room with 36 other ladies, and you got 3 showers. You got one public toilet where everybody is in the communal area. We all wear the same clothes. You all had white cotton pants and a yellow t-shirt, and everybody looked the same. There was no career, what status you are. Everybody was equal. So you don't know, you're not judging people for what job they do, how much money they have, because in the ashram we're all one.
Did they remove all technology? So was everything confiscated? So your mobile phone, were you literally stripped of any luxury that modern day world
Well,
offers?
I did this before the mobile phone. It was in 2003. So there were mobile phones, but I didn't have a mobile phone. And they had internet where you could use the computer, and you had to lock in a half an hour slot. So that was only allowed once a week or something like that. So none of that was existing.
So in the book Eat, Pray, Love, is that an ashram that the character is at? And I know it's based on real life of Elizabeth Gilbert, I think.
Yeah,
it
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that an ashram that she was at? Just so
she was in an
understand.
ashram.
Yes.
She was in an ashram, but that wasn't a yoga teacher ashram. She was on an ashram doing yoga, meditation, trying to go deep into herself. So the similar thing.
Okay, wow. And so you're in a dormitory with 36 other women. And
Yeah.
were you thinking, what in the world am I doing? And what in the world have I done?
Yes, I paused and I thought, oh, I don't know whether I can do this. And then I remember having this conversation with myself at the reception thinking, I can change my mind. It's okay. I can, I don't have to do this. I thought, well, no, I have to. I've given up my job. I've got a one-way ticket. If I don't do this, this is really, it's pathetic if I don't do it finally after all this planning of doing it.
Yeah.
So I ended up going there, and it was one of the hardest things I've done in my life, and also one of the most rewarding things I've done.
And were the other women on the same journey as you? Were they there for that same sort of purpose, or was it a mix? No?
It was such a mix. It was one of the best things staying in that dormitory. I got to meet amazing people that I would never have crossed paths with in my normal life.
What did you actually have to do there? What were your daily chores or rituals that you had to do? What was the schedule?
In the ashram it was quite intense. I had no idea it was going to be this intense. You wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. You meditate from 6 to 8. Then 8 to 10, you're doing the physical part of yoga, which we all know, the poses. And then we learn the scriptures, Sanskrit, chanting, and just sit cross-legged for that many hours without no backup and soft cushions was very difficult for the body.
Mm. And you ended up getting this great job of cleaning the toilets. How did that happen?
Oh my God, I was in shock. I went into the ashram and you're all given a karmic job. So karma yoga is you do this job with expecting nothing back in return. And I was hoping and praying when they were allocating the jobs, please don't give me the toilet. That job really taught me something. So I'm cleaning communal toilets for 200 people. There was a male and a female. There was 2 toilets. And I remember I had to clean it after lunch, and I couldn't eat my lunch because I was gyrating whilst I was cleaning these toilets. And it taught me one of the biggest lessons. The first few days I was just gyrating, thinking, when is this going to end? I don't want to do the toilets. And I just thought, well, I'm going to have to do it anyway. So I might as well suck it up and just make the most of it. So I used to just clean the toilets, chanting away, and just do a really good job of it. And every time I finished cleaning the toilet, there were people waiting outside thanking me, saying, I really appreciate you cleaning the toilets because I know how difficult it is to do this job. And I found out in that experience that no job is above me and no job is below me. We're all equal. Every job is valuable in society. And that was a really good lesson to learn. So even now in my everyday life, when I'm speaking to CEOs or directors of companies, I don't feel intimidated by it because we're all equal.
Yeah.
And also with the cleaner that cleans the toilets. Yeah, we're all equal and we all deserve respect for whatever we do in life.
Now, those toilets, sorry, I'm just going back to those toilets. They're not your conventional toilets that we see in Australia. I couldn't imagine.
Oh, God, no. So in them days, in that time, the sewage system in the obviously rural India, it's not like you flush toilet paper down the toilets. So you have to put the toilet paper in the bin. And I had to separate the paper from the plastic.
Wow.
From the bin as well.
Wow.
So I'd be rolling up my pants, rolling up my sleeves, putting the gloves on and cleaning those toilets. And it really made me realize, and it just brings me back to reality, that it doesn't matter what you do and how much money you got, we're all the same and every job is so valuable because somebody's got to do it. And that somebody happened to be me in the ashram.
And how long did it take you of being in the ashram before you started to really settle in? Like how long, you said it was so uncomfortable at the beginning. When did you start to feel like you just went into the flow of it and it became easier? How long do you think?
I think in the beginning, I was battling with it. I was counting down the days, thinking, how many more days have I got of this place? I've got to finish it. And then suddenly halfway, you sort of settle into it and you get into the rhythm of it and you start experiencing the beauty of it. The pain starts going away. Your body becomes lighter. Your skin starts clearing up. Your digestive system starts working and you find this inner peace that, oh my God, I just get it.
What did your family and friends think of you just leaving life as our modern day world is, as in business, and then going to India, going to an ashram, and hence cleaning toilets and discovering yourself, I guess? What did they think?
They actually thought I was mad. And my dad said, "You've gone mad. Why are you leaving this job? You've got the perfect job. You're on the career path. You're making good money. You have a nice lifestyle. Why are you giving it all up?" And I said, that lifestyle doesn't mean it gives you happiness and the tools to live your life. And I thought, I want to discover how I can live my life physically, mentally, and spiritually right for me, and live the path I want to live, not the path I've been told I should be living.
And why in India? So what was your drive to go to India in particular?
Well, I'm Indian, made in England, live in Australia. So I saw that culture, my granddad, and I've been part of that culture. And I thought, why not go back to my homeland and discover it there? And I've heard so much about yoga. I wasn't a yoga person before I got there, so it was full on throwing myself in the deep end. And I thought, well, there must be something in this yoga, because every person I saw that did yoga looked so calm and they had great posture. They had this peaceness about them. And I thought, wow, I wouldn't mind learning a bit about that.
So, Shavita, how long were you in India? Like, how long in the ashram, and then how long all up in India in this stage?
I was in the ashram for 1 month, and that was the teacher training that I did. And then I followed different teachers around yoga. So you'd hear about different teachers in different parts of India that are really good. So I spent like 2 weeks or a month with different teachers from the south of India, making my way up to the north of India. So that was really good, because you get all different types of teachers. And I was able to pick up the best of all the different types of teachers with different styles of yoga as well. And they ranged from young teachers to older ladies, to males, to females, to Westerners, to Indian teachers. So it was really good to immerse myself in the yoga.
So you followed them around. So you were like following.
Yeah.
And what did that entail? Like, so staying with, where did you stay when you did that?
So I stayed in where they stayed, in their little ashram where they're hanging out and teaching. And I'd spend two weeks to a month there, and I'll do 2 classes a day with them and spend some time with them and learn what they've learned along the way in the journey.
Were there any that really impacted you? Like, were some that you just were so impressed with? Is there any that you can recall that were like, wow, I mean, I'm inspired by this person?
Well, when we were in the ashram, we were learning how to teach the senior citizens. And there was this lady that came on the stage, and I think she was 80 something. She got on the stage and she said, you've got to have respect when you're teaching the seniors, and you ask permission to assist them, because people are private, and even just not senior citizens, just generally speaking. And she got on the stage and she did a headstand. And I thought,
wow,
oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And she started at 65 and she was in her 80s. So it taught me you're never too late.
Wow, that's inspiring.
Start looking
so it's
after
not
yourself.
too late for us now.
Never too late. You just got to start when the time's right.
As you said, you were born in England, so you went from England to Australia. Then you went, on this journey to India. So you came back then to Australia after the.
Yeah, I came back to Australia, and then I started teaching yoga, and I started learning about personal training and that side of things as well. And I went back and taught at the bank where I used to work. So I used to do lunchtime yoga there for them.
Wow.
Okay. So you're integrating all your learnings basically into our Western world of what we actually need to get off this treadmill and to create some balance in our lives.
And I find financial planning and health and wealth is very similar, because we invest in our superannuation for our future retirement. And I think of health in the same way. When I invested in my health back in 2003, I was 33. 20 years on, it's really paid off for me.
Wow, that's a
That
great way of
dedication.
looking at it.
Yeah, consistency. So I think if I want to live in my later lives with a physical well-being, I need to invest in it on a consistent basis, just like you want to invest in your superannuation on a consistent basis.
And I agree. You know, I often think about, retirement, and people save so much money in their superannuation in order to prepare for retirement, and they have big dreams of travel or whatever it may be. But when they do get to the age of retirement, which I think is 75 in Australia, all the illnesses start coming through and the aging body and all of the above. So they don't really get to enjoy the fruits of their labour.
No, and that's where the balance comes in. It's like, work, put a bit of money away, but also don't forget to enjoy your life and look after your health and eat good food and have good morals and give back to the community. It's all about creating balance.
Yeah. So talk to us about Shavita Wellness. So you came back to Australia and you started with teachings of yoga.
Yeah, so then I started teaching yoga to corporates and small groups. And then after I had my first child, I taught regularly. That was my job. And now I'm online teaching people and helping people. When we went into COVID, I just changed all my business to online. So I coach people as well in wellness. And also finding that balance in life as well, because sometimes we need somebody external to help us see things clear when we can't see ourselves.
Absolutely. So you obviously do face-to-face learnings, but due to COVID, things have changed dramatically, and you've taken your business model online. I could imagine that there would be a huge draw of people wanting to or looking for an avenue to support their mental health and well-being. So, have you seen there's been a huge influx of new students doing the courses with you online?
Yes, there's a lot of people, and also because a lot of people are working from home, they're sitting at a desk, which is resulting to neck problems, shoulder problems, upper back, lower back, hip problems. So it's really important that you stretch out your body to help eliminate future injuries or deteriorating.
And you would know that, considering you're sitting on the floor in an ashram.
Yes,
sitting for long periods of time.
Sitting, and also our incidental movement has eliminated, because you'd walk to the train station, you'd walk from your car to your job, you'd walk to the photocopying machine. All those incidental walkings have disappeared. We're just walking in our homes. So it's really important to stretch out the body and have that mental separation where I'm going to go nurture myself mentally and physically and connect to what I need to connect to within myself.
And so you really teach beginners right through. So if someone wanted to pick up and we've already learned it's never too late. That was a great message. So if you're even 65 and you're listening, or it doesn't matter what age you are and you're listening, you can actually start yoga now and make a big difference to your life.
Yes, and people say, I'm so inflexible, I'm too stiff. And that's exactly why you need to do it. And it's amazing how quickly your body can adapt and start becoming flexible and start opening up.
Yeah.
And when you see your body open up, something's shifted in your mind as well. Something else starts happening. That's when the magic happens. When you start seeing your body change from touching your knees to touching your toes, something's shifted mentally too.
Gives you a sense of clarity as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
And I have to say, because I'm a fan of your yoga classes, and I find, even if I've got a headache, if I do the yoga, it's like the headache goes, or if you're feeling tired, it goes. So I think a lot of people may think yoga is just like a physical form of exercise, but it's definitely doing something else. Like, can you explain that whole process? Like how you can shift a headache, or it can, just make you sort of feel refreshed or sleep better, or so many different things.
but we're just flushing out the body. It's like it's like an oiling can. So every time I show up on my mat, I'm oiling my body. I'm getting my circulation going. I'm also shifting the energy as I shift my body. So if you're stuck in a negative mood, just by going out for a walk or doing a bit of yoga, you've shifted your energy, your mind.
Yeah.
I must admit that with my frequent walks, I started getting some really bad lower back pain. I think it's from my hips. And Amanda actually said, you need to do this exercise from Shavita, which I did, and literally it fixed it straight away. It was bizarre. So thank you.
I know, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. People think, oh, I've got to do it for hours and, every day. It's like consistency, even if it's just 10 minutes every other day, will make a big difference to your life.
I think that's a great message because, and look, you are on YouTube if anyone wants to find you, but you've also got your online classes. But I think that's something I've learned from you is that, 10 minutes a day, and 10 minutes isn't much, but you could actually just do 10 minutes and you really believe that's going to make a difference if someone just wanted to invest 10 minutes a day.
I think so. It makes a big difference. And what it does, it just shows to yourself that I'm spending some time to look after myself and connect. And you go and connect with your breath as you move your body. And then you have this beautiful ritual where you just have this connection to yourself.
So can you tell us also, there's something else that you've been doing as well, and that's sound bowl healings, or is it sound bowl healings, and that's what you're actually doing, or is it a meditation? Can you explain what that is, sound bowl healings?
So it's crystal sound bowls. So what they are, they're bowls made of crystal, and the sound, and there's different sounds for different parts of your chakras. And we have 7 chakras in our body, representing your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, all the way to your root chakra. And when we are blocked in a certain emotion or a thought pattern, that chakra could be blocked. And what the chakra bowls do, this crystal bowls, is to help release it. And it also promotes meditation, relaxation, and stillness.
So you're doing those, could someone do those with you, well, post-COVID, probably face-to-face, but, how else could they sort of find out about that?
Face-to-face, after COVID, there's lots of sound baths that are available in the community. So sound bath is when they use a couple of different instruments. They can use chimes, bells, drums, and I do the sound bowls, which are the crystal bowls.
Wow, great.
And they emit a vibration too, don't they? Is that correct?
Yeah, so each bowl has a different vibration. You can actually feel it in your body.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so you can feel the sound each time you play a different bowl and you hit it. It's a different note which resonates with the chakras.
I think I need to try that, Amanda.
Yes, sounds like it's, I have tried a sound bath before and I have to say it was very relaxing and I'm really, and it's really trending now. I'm seeing more and more, like I think it was on the Housewives or something. They were talking about, one of the Housewives shows were talking about sound baths and it's just really becoming more and more popular. I'm seeing more and more about it. So it's really something people can sort of look into if they're looking for an alternative form of healing that may work for them.
Yeah, and lots of people are trying different things because of our circumstances have changed due to COVID. People are exploring new ways of dealing with life.
That's so true.
How can people find out about you?
Yeah, they can go into my Facebook group called Wellness with Shavita. I'm also on YouTube, Instagram, Wellness with Shavita, or type in Shavita Kotak and it will all come up. Got lots of online classes available free, and we have a paid membership too. So they can just get in touch and join our community.
And we'll add those links to all of your social pages and all the information of how people can find you on our description of this episode.
Yeah, you're an inspiration to all of us because you sort of went through this transition that maybe a lot of people are going to be looking at now that are just sort of going, I want more meaning in their life due to COVID. So I think you definitely sort of led the way a long time ago. So thank you for sharing that information.
You are my guru.
Oh, thank you so much. I just do my best to share the love.
Oh, thanks very much, Shavita, for coming on the show and telling us about your journey from, high-flying executive to toilet cleaning duties.
Yes, thanks, Antoinette and Amanda. I appreciate your time.